Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Conqueror 480. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. Starting off first, we have your black hitch head here, which has to be up like that. Then your black handle there also has to be up to allow you to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar. It will snap down that black handle, push up that red button and expose a green ring. Just here you have your breakaway cable. Legality states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrap it around the tow bar. Handbrake here, so it's just a case push down to disengage and then you can just flick up to engage. Jockey wheel here, which is used to level the van by going up and down. Then you also have that handle which winds up to pull up the jockey wheel whilst you're travelling. Now this caravan is with 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs, they're simply used for stabilisation. In here we have a gas bottle. It's a propane gas bottle with an indate gas hose. That connects onto this regulator here. You hand tighten that as much as you can and then nip it up using the spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as there is a washer inside the hose which puts pressure on it and can cause it to crack and break. Come along the opposite side, starting off first, we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Next to it we have the inlet for an external shower point if you wanted to use one. And then just here we have 2 different points. So this bottom one is for your water pipe that's going to go, as you can see labelled there, to be used only with drinking water only, because that's going from the aqua roll straight to your taps. Whilst this one with the electrical pins is going to the onboard tank system. So usually what people do is fill up the onboard tank and then put in your one to straight to the tap, so you have the choice of both of them. Next to that you have your battery locker. So the battery itself connects on with 2 terminals. You'll either need a 12 or 13mm spanner to take them on and off, and then it's protected by this plate here which you just need a flat end to remove. You then have your plug-in for your mains lead just here, plugs in nice and easy, and then you have your port for your red key, which is the isolation point for the use of the motor mover. The motor mover will be gone over on collection. Coming behind the axle we have the 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe, can then feed into a waste master. Then lastly, we'll just move this step out of the way, we have your toilet function. So first up, have your cassette. To remove that, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle does also extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. Once you're at the emptying point on site, twist this head to the side, take off the cap. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilt, continually pressing this button to vent. Then, my recommendation, open up this compartment, feed in some fresh water, give it a bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent, just makes it smell a bit nicer. Then on this cap here we have measurements in both imperial and metric, and then that is for your blue chemical, which goes into there, back on, twist it in and push it in so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth so that it can't be removed. Then this top compartment, this is for your flush water. So this has a capacity of around 12 litres. However, I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add a bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. Do not put bleach down your toilet, it is plastic. Then you don't want to travel with either of these 2 full, so just up here you can see you've got this little bung that sits up there to drain off any remaining water from the flush tank. when you collect the caravan, it will be fully drained off. Then underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything under this seat. You can access that part there to get access to the actual main boiler, and then this big black box is your onboard tank. So you can open it up individually here and manually see how much is in there. As you can see, it has been fully drained off, ready for collection. You have a series of flow jets. Now they will pull through the water to either the tap, the boiler, or the onboard tank system. Now you don't want to travel with the onboard tank full, so just here you have two valves. First up, that yellow drain valve. When it's up as it is now, that is meaning any water inside the system of either the boiler or the onboard tank is being drained off. However, if you want to drain the onboard tank, you have to have this white switch pointing the way it is. So you've got two yellow drain valves and this white switch. If you're wanting to use the internal tank supply, switch that down and flick these two down. That will allow you to use the water from the onboard tank. If you want to use the external supply, so straight from the Acroll, twist that to the side. And if you want the caravan fully drained off, flick them all up, which is how you will collect the caravan. There is also a little diagram there to tell you how to do so, and a few tips for winter and storage. When it comes to storing the caravan, make sure it's fully drained off when you're not actively using it, especially around November to March, just because it can freeze the water and burst the pipes. Then this blue box here is your brain box for your motor mover. If you ever need to do a reset, it's on there. And up here we have your trips and fuses. So fuses down at the bottom. You can find the fuse allocation inside your book back, but they also give you a little handy diagram just here. You have your radio just here, it tells you what sort of software it's on there as well. You have a system shutdown button, which if you press that in, nothing inside the caravan is able to operate. Then we have your trips up above. We have your spare button illuminated, heating and hot water illuminated, a battery charger illuminated, showing that they are all actively working. And then we have a reverse polarity setting there if you're ever going abroad. Then just here we have your main control panel. So power on, and you can see mains is coming into the caravan. If you was plugged into your car, that would show that the car is illuminated there. You can check the levels of either the leisure battery or the vehicle battery by pressing in view levels, but you can also individually press in on them. Now when you press view levels, it also shows you the level inside the onboard tank. So it's currently at 0, goes up to full. If you wanted to fill the tank, you press the button that says fill tank, but you have to have the correct water hose connected, which is this one here. Now these work on a system where you have to press in the button to remove it. Push in, nice and easy, press in the button to pull it out. Both of them have a plastic cap to go over the top of the Acroll to make sure no nastiness gets in. And then both of them have a strainer at the bottom. Now it's crucial that whatever hose you're using, the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through. If it's not, it can lead to coughs and splutters and just general disturbance. Now, this one is for the onboard tank, and as you can see, it sort of weighs itself out. Whilst this white one is for straight from the Acroll to the tap. As you can see, has a bit of a tendency to curl up. Still works in the same way of the trigger. My recommendation with this is to get some PVC piping or something like that, wrap it around the bottom so you don't have to straighten it out before every use. So white is for straight from the Acroll to the tap, blue is to fill the onboard tank. Anyway, if you wanted to fill the tank, you would press in not only water pump but also fill tank, and it will automatically fill the tank and stop itself when it's at capacity. If you wanted to use straight just from the Acroll. You'd have it set up in the correct way under that bed. Press water pump. Let it run for about 2 to 3 minutes to draw it through, especially if you've not used it in a while. Then open up your taps on both hot and cold and let it run for about 30 seconds. What you're looking for is a nice, steady, continuous stream. If you haven't used the van in a while, it might be overly pressurised and get coughs and splutters. Just let it pull through, but if you continue to have issues, make sure your drain valves are in the correct position. Your hose is situated so the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel and you have plenty of water. And just here we have your outer control panel. So this is your home screen just here. Right now it's telling me that the current internal temperature of the caravan is 9 degrees. Press in menu and I come to this button, this section here. So first up we have the thermometer in the house. This is for the internal temperature that you desire. Goes up to a maximum of 30. And I can individually click to go down, or I can press and hold as well. But whatever you set it to, it will get to temperature. Now with these, it is dependent on the external temperatures as well. So if you're in -5 degrees, it's going to take longer to warm up than if it was 20 degrees outside. But on a nice day, it's usually about an hour to an hour and a half. So there you go, goes up to a maximum of 30 and starts at 5. Next up, we have the water temperature. So this shower icon starts at midway, which will get the water temperature to about 40 degrees, or it will go to full. Now full will prioritise the water heating over the heating of the actual van for around half an hour. It will get up to a temperature of around 60 to 70 degrees and then drop it back down to midway. Then it will just do the heating as it does normally. Then you have 2 different choices for source. So you either have 1, 2, 3 kilowatts of mains capacity. Now do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatts of main capacity in them, or you can use gas. So that's either on or off, or you can use a mixture of both. Then you have this little spanner icon, which shows you some additional settings. I'm not going to run through that as we have set it to what we believe is the most user-friendly to use. If you'd like to see what they represent, please have a look inside your book pack. Now, this screen will naturally fade off when not interacted with in a while. And then to turn off the complete system, so there's no more heating, press in and you can see no more interaction. Now, the actual Alder tank is situated inside of your wardrobe. This works similar to a car coolant system, so it is going to bubble up. We have set it so it's at least a minimum of 3 millimeters over the minimum line, and it will bubble up naturally. So it does make a slight bit of a buzzing noise as well. Then just here we have your toilet. So this is bog simple. Press in the button at the top and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water inside the system. Then to remove your waste, press away on the handle, opens up your cassette, and then make sure you pull it back. 1, because you don't want the stink across the van, and 2, because it means that you're then able to remove the cassette. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty. Then just here we have your hob, grill and oven. So all of this operates on gas minus the electric plate. Electric plate, just spin it to whatever mark you want and it will get to temperature. Everything else, press in the dial, twist it to the side and then press your igniter. Now it may be a case if you're first coming to use it, these flames will ignite and then cut off. That is natural, that is the gas making its way through its system. So just relight it and it should stay lit. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames. Flick it up to the top position, turns it off. Then we have the same concept for your grill. And here you can see your grill. Now it may be a case one side will light up and then you just have to redo it to do the other side. Finally, your oven. So let's see if I can just do this with one hand. And there you can see your oven all nice and lit. Turn it off, back to central. Only other thing to note, you can travel with the gas hose connected to the regulator, but make sure that the bottle itself is off and you need to travel with this glass sheet down. However, don't put it down until all of these are nice and cool. Then lastly, we have your fridge operation. So, fridge is currently off, no lights inside. Turn it on, press and hold in on this M button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory. Then you can see blue lights inside. You have the choice of 3 for sources: mains, gas, or 13-pin electric for when you're plugged into your car. You cannot run this fridge off the leisure battery itself. So you have mains and then you have gas. So to change source, press into gas, and what you'll hear is it will gradually tick in. Then once it's finished ticking, that means it's then lit. I would not recommend putting gas on either the fridge or the heating system until you've checked through all of these components. But you can hear it ticking in, and then it's going to finish. So we'll switch it back over to mains just so we don't waste gas. I am going to press on here so you can see what it's like for a hazard. It begins to flash up and beep. Then we have the amount of power coming into the fridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill the fridge the quickest. However, even on maximum potential, it does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. And to turn it off, press and hold in, turns it off, no more light.